What is going on, guys? John here, and as you can see, this is a different setup because it's not my setup, it's my friend's setup.
Hi, friends.
This is my friend Zeke, and he is the host of the VenomVlog. So, today's episode, what I'm gonna do is a new thing called Behind the Scene. So pretty much we're just gonna talk about Zeke's setup and why all this is the way that it is. And yeah, I hope you guys like it. Cue the intro. Okay, sir. So first things first, who are you and what do you do?
I am Optimus Prime, and I am from the planet Cybertron.
I know it.
I was paid for by Paramount to make YouTube videos. And then I realized that as a Transformer myself, it's a little biased if I just talk about Transformers all the time. So I decided to make a show about Venom and other topics. So that's who I am, and that's actually, no, that's not true, any of it. My name is Zeke, and I'm just a big nerd, and I've been reading comic books my whole life. I fell in love with YouTube about 6 or 7 years ago, and always wanted to be a part of this world, and now I try to be.
So what is your channel mainly about? Because it says VenomVlog.
Yeah.
But is that all you talk about?
I started as a Transformer and Star Wars channel. I was watching a guy named Alex Yu, who's a guy who lives in Canada. He does a show called The Raging Nation, and I really liked his approach. He was covering the Michael Bay Transformer movies. He had a really good outlook. He would just talk about news, but only news that came from authentic websites like Deadline or Variety or Michael Bay's Instagram account or stuff like that. So he only focused on real news and not rumors. And I really liked that about his channel. I started doing my channel slowly that way, but started with toy reviews on Rebels toys from Star Wars. And I was one of the first people to get Rebels reviews up for toys. And then also Transformers. I was covering a lot of Transformer toys. Over time, I just started falling into other things, and then I started not having what a lot of YouTubers have problems with, which is consistency. You know, like I couldn't keep up. Like people wanted videos all the time, and I would just not have time because of work, or I would burn out quickly or whatever. And then eventually I started I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this Venom idea that I have, and if it goes nowhere, then I'll probably just walk away from YouTube and, you know, not make any more content. And of all the things to catch on my channel, Venom was the thing. So I still do Seek and Destroy, which is my variety show where every episode is something different and we talk about different topics, but my main thing here is VenomVlog, and I've done over 600 episodes in 3 years just about the character. 600
is a lot. I get what you mean by being inconsistent. I'm constantly inconsistent. This has been my second video in 6 months, so yeah, you're good on inconsistency.
It's hard. People think it's easy to just put on a camera and, you know, share something either about yourself or about your passions. But it's not. It's actually way harder than you think it is. And what's really crazy is we live in a world now where you put yourself out there and strangers will come and shoot you down and shut you down. And that does a lot to your self-esteem in a negative way. It's tough, and it's like you have to really sometimes have really thick skin or just not care, you know, and I kind of fall into that category. If someone comes and hates my stuff, I'm like, I don't care. I mean, I'm just trying to do what I think is fun, and if you don't like it, I'm all for constructive feedback. But if you just come in and just, you know, like, oh, this is trash or this is garbage, I kind of just like, oh, I don't care. Like, if you can't form a sentence, then your insults don't bother me.
That is why we are friends.
That's right. Yes. Yeah, and I'm glad we are because you know, I just moved here to Florida, and John is like one of 3 people that knows where I live, and I'm going to keep it that way.
So, not spreading any secrets.
Yeah.
Although, like Deadpool, if the price is right.
Split it with me at least.
All right.
Because if I'm going to have to handle death threats, I'd rather have a little bit of money from it.
Time to get to the tech side of your YouTube.
Yeah.
What do you use to edit your video? How long have you been using it?
So I am very stupid when it comes to tech, which is why I think it's funny that I'm being interviewed for a tech show. I don't know what most things are called, and I don't know how most things work, but I'm figuring it out as I go along.
I'm going to teach him a bunch of stuff, don't worry.
Yeah, he actually hooked me up. There's a new light behind us that he gifted me, and a capture card for some content coming up, so I'm going to learn, and John is going to be a good teacher, I think, because I've watched some of his videos now, and I'm like, yeah, I need to learn this stuff. As far as like just the stuff I use, a program here called Power Director. And Power Director is what I mainly edit in. And the reason for that is because a couple years ago when I started the VenomVlog, I knew I needed something. Because before that, I just tried to record everything in one take and just upload it. And it was terrible. But then I was like, no, I should really learn, especially since before my aneurysm, I used to be a post-production assistant. So I probably did know how to edit at one point in my life, and I just couldn't remember. So I thought, all right, let's put in some effort, because I think that's mainly what people want to see on your YouTube channel is effort. And plus, you should have a good work ethic anyway. So I learned Power Director. They had a free sample you could download. It taught me very clearly how to do basic things, and I've been using it ever since. Really easy to use, has a lot of great features. You can capture from your webcam up here with it. Now that I have a better webcam, I've been doing that a lot more lately. And then also, you can add effects to it. There's an effect room. There's a video overlay. You can put lower thirds in there. You can do a lot of cool creative things, make intros, and you can always download new templates all the time. So this has been a really great software that I use for the videos themselves. They tier everything. You can have audio on. Like for example, this video, I have gameplay playing over me talking. I can cancel the video if I just want to see myself. I hate looking at myself, so I always...
Every editor does. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I hate my face too.
Yeah,
You're good.
because when you film yourself, and then you have to go back and re-watch it and look for everything wrong, you really start to hate your face.
Or little things you say, like I'm constantly having to delete it.
Oh yeah, because you get in a pattern where you say things all the time. Like I used to start sentences with so all the time, and I noticed it. So I started editing them out. And then as I've replayed the episodes, I got used to hearing me not saying so, and now I rarely say so to start a sentence. I still do it, but not as often. So yeah, and then I can, like I said, add the audio or take the audio away. So I really like having this. It's a very much a beginner's editing thing, because before I was trying to learn with Premiere, and holy cow. And by the way, I have an all-in-one computer. Premiere doesn't like all-in-one computers. It likes really high-end computers.
Yeah.
So this thing crashed all the time, and I lost a lot of great things because of that. Every time I make a video, I use Power Direct. When I live stream, I use a new something called StreamYard. So tomorrow I have a Batman Ninja discussion for the anime Batman Ninja, and from here I can go into my broadcast studio, and I can pop on my webcam.
And look, we're live.
Yes,
hello,
hey there.
People.
So this is like my Beyond the Source Wall show. This is what I'll do with Alex tomorrow. Here's his logo, the Animal Man logo, my Superman Steel logo, and we have like all different artwork. So I made him Raven and me Cyborg. People have been telling me to use this for 2 years now. Now when I'm live, I can do comic reviews live and see what people, because that's my main thing, is the VenomVlog is about communication. When I worked at my previous jobs and when just in life in general, I've noticed anytime I've had any hardships, it's because of lack of communication. So I'm trying to improve that on my channel, and with live streams, I'm able to do that. So using StreamYard's really great because I can now post a picture from a comic book and review it live and get people's feedback on it. And that has changed, I think, my channel dramatically. Pretty much what I've always wanted to do on my channel. So it took me 2 years because I'm afraid of technology, but I finally did it, and it was really easy to use.
Technology's not that scary.
It really isn't. It's actually made so simple nowadays, but I still freak out about it sometimes. Then for thumbnails or graphics that I'm going to create, I usually use this software, which is called Gimpy. It's really great because this is like a cutout that I used from a piece of comic book art, and I just erased everything that goes around them. And for those of you who are like, hey, he's missing his hand. No, he's not. That's Dr. Kirk Connors from Spider-Man. He actually is missing that arm already.
The lizard, people.
I didn't
get with the times.
Yeah, I didn't do that. It was there. We're retelling the first appearance of the alien costume, which landed on Peter first before it went to Eddie Brock and became Venom. So we've never covered that on my show. So we're doing that this season.
Turns out it didn't come from a rocket from J. Jonah Jameson's son.
And it didn't just randomly land in the grass near Spider-Man like it did in Spider-Man 3. Crazy. So yeah, so I'll use Gimpy sometimes and come up with my thumbnails or improve my thumbnails. And then I also use Audacity when I just want to record audio. So I have a Meteor microphone, got this cover on it for like $1. Pretty much this has helped improve my channel a lot. I asked people what they wanted to see, and everyone said, we want to see a live stream, we want to see a better camera, hear you better, and then that's why I put all the money into this stuff. A lot of this has been accumulated over time, and if you hear cracking in the background, that's my dog. He's just chewing on stuff. No, this room is like, this is everything to me. Like I was like, if I'm going to do a YouTube show, especially this season, and now that I moved to Florida, where it's cheaper for me to live than California, which was really expensive, I live less than check to check most times. I made like $20 an hour in California, and that was less than check to check. Like that's how expensive it was for me out there. Occasionally, yeah, if I can get a figure or a thing, you know, or if I sell old toys to buy new ones, I make it happen. But YouTube money, to me, I'm like, that's the extra. That has to go into the channel, because I'll never make enough extra money a month on my regular job to to put into the channel. If every 6 months I get a $120 check, yeah, you bet your ass I'm putting it into this channel somehow.
Let's talk about lighting. This new light I gave to you, but this ring light, which I've seen multiple times in your video. So how do you like using a ring light compared to like other lights?
The light you gave me, like I have 2 of them in my closet, and I used to use them all the time because I like to balance light. Like when I first started my YouTube channel, that was something that was like, oh, I can easily wrap my brain around light, because so I would have one here and one there. The thing was, is in my apartment in California, I had no air conditioning in any of the apartments I lived in California, except for the last one, I think. So it got really hot, like really hot.
Yeah, those lights are crazy.
Yeah, they're intense. And so I got the umbrellas on them. That helped a little, but it gets really, really hot. So I'll be making YouTube videos, and you just see sweat running down my face.
Yeah, and it's not because it's summertime, those lights.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
No, it was like December. But in California, that doesn't matter. It's still California. So about a year and a half ago, I finally switched to the ring light, and I do like it. Doesn't heat up my face. There is a nice round glow, but I like them. This one has different settings, so you can change it, like different
tungsten.
Yeah, tungsten and daylight and things like that. You can brighten it or make it dimmer, which I really like. That with the tripod and the camera stand serve a purpose. My issue is that over the past few years, I've been framing a lot of things in my background, like posters and stuff. So when you have big lights, you can see them in the reflection. Like if these posters weren't in frames, you could tell there was a light there, but it wouldn't be as noticeable. But now that they're all framed, you're just gonna see the light like in the reflection. So I try to angle things differently so that you don't see the light. Like I used to have the camera right here aimed at me this way, and they're like, why do you shoot that way? And it's like, well, because if the light's here, my head is blocking its reflection in the picture behind me. And like John even was like, oh, why don't you shoot from here, put the light over here, because it'll light your face a certain way and it's more visually appealing to people. And I'm like, yeah, but I mean, my face is my face. It's not appealing to a lot of people. I think more about the reflection. I'm hoping if people come to my channel, they're not coming for my face, they're coming for what I'm saying. And I try to put more emphasis on what I say as opposed to how I look sometimes, which is why I look like a meathead all the time. Like I'm in my pajamas most days. I don't know, it's all about what's important to you, but like the lighting to me, not as important as it used to be, because when I used to overthink it, I would just see the lights in my background all the time, and when I was editing, it would drive me crazy. Because I know if I was on a soundstage or a movie set, that would be unacceptable. And I just had trouble hiding them, I guess.
As a YouTuber, what would you say is the most important thing to you for your stream?
I guess standards are my thing. Like I really try to do my best. And I know a lot of people say that, but like I really hate making mistakes on things as far as information. So like I don't cover rumors. John has known, he's like, hey, have you seen this YouTuber's video? I'm like, I don't watch that guy. They're garbage. And he's like, oh, I didn't know.
Yep, yeah. So many times, and now I don't watch as many YouTubers as I used to, because now I know they're not being honest.
That's the thing, is like there's a line. What it comes down to is information. People can make whatever content they make. If they're entertaining, I'll watch them. But if they're strictly like a journalist, or they're trying to like give you movie news, if they're purposely misleading you, that's where I have a problem with them. Now, if someone covers like the Venom leak trailer that didn't happen,
you're telling me that Super Bowl commercial wasn't real?
So I knew it wasn't real from the jump. Once I saw it, I was like, this is fake. Why are people freaking out about this? It even said February 7th, 2022. So I was like, does nobody else see this? To me, I'm like, yeah, that kind of stuff, I can tell it's fake. It's very obvious that it's fake. The problem isn't the people who make it. They make it to make a fun concept. What I hate is that the young people that see it on Reddit, that then spread it like wildfire. I like to be that wall where it's like, all right, I don't want fake information to get through me the best I can. Of course, I'm going to make mistakes. I'm human. I do try harder to not cover things that I think will mislead people or get their hype up in a negative way, because I notice a lot of people like to get people's hype up and watch them crash from it, and they kind of love that, like that's their version of trolling. And I don't like seeing fandoms get hurt in that way, because I think long term that's going to ruin their excitement for Venom or something like that. So I try to, like I said, I have a standard. So like one thing you'd rarely see me do, you won't see me drink in my videos. You'll see me do it on live streams sometimes, because they run long. That's a rule. Anytime I worked in anything, they're like, no drinking on camera, always speak clearly. If your mouth gets dry, stop, get a drink of water, come back and speak again. So use cuts if you need to. I see a lot of times like YouTubers who are like doing trailer reactions and they're eating chips. I'm like, you can't stop eating chips for 7 minutes while you do this trailer reaction video, and they're just watching it just you know, and I'm just like, what is this? So I started disliking a lot of YouTubers because of that. That's my preference. Like, I don't want other people to stop enjoying their stuff. So when you tell me like, oh, and now I don't like watching this YouTuber's video, I'm like, well, that's not my intention. My intention isn't to get them to lose viewers. If people enjoy their content, then they should watch their content. For me, I just I try to hit a standard. And I know some people will say, well, your standard should be to get a better haircut or to, like, you know, work out and look better on camera. And it's like, yeah, sure, maybe that's a good argument to make. But for me, it's like, again, I want people to come here for my content and not for me personal. I don't want people to get that invested in me. I see people who blow up on YouTube and it goes to their head in all the wrong way. They always say like things change you. I think it just brings out the real you. And the problem is the real me is very boring. Like I project a lot of excitement on my episodes because I know that's what people want. Really, if I grew as a YouTuber, I think it would just make more people realize how boring I am.
You're not boring.
No, I really am. Like when the camera's not rolling, like I stare at the wall. Like I'm so boring. People are like, you should have more viewers. I'm like, man, we're cool. We're all right at where we're at.
We're chugging along.
Yeah, but the fact that like when I started the VenomVlog, I was around 600. So to be 2,000 more than 600, we're at 2,600 right now, and I never thought that would have been possible. So to me, I'm just grateful for what I have. I think the main thing is when you try to have a standard, you should also try not to expect. I try to hold my standards the best I can, and I try not to expect things that I don't deserve or that I think will change my life. If things happen, they do, and I just try to, you know, let them happen organically. But standards, to answer your question in a very long way, standards is what I try to focus on my channel, and I feel like if I can at least hold those, that gives me something about my content that hopefully people will like.
You have a lot of stuff, as we can all see. For YouTubers, the background is important sometimes, not all the time.
Sure.
When people come to your channel, what's the aesthetic you try to give off on your video? The way your background is set up. Speaking of which, your background is amazing. I love this. But it might just be because I'm a giant nerd, and some people are like, no, he's got too many toys to be an adult.
I mean, it's both. First of all, thank you for the compliment. If you go back and watch VenomVlog Season 1, you'll see the background is literally just like a wall, and maybe there's a poster there. Yeah, it's like, I think my early videos were like kind of this. It was that angle, and I think I had like one poster here, and then maybe a drawing here, and that was it. Before that, I used to have this little nook in my first apartment in California when I started YouTube videos. It was a studio apartment. It was just one room. But there was a little nook that I could squeeze into and put my camera in front of, and then I put shelving on the wall and just filled it with toys. And I would just change out the toys every month or whatever. That's what I started my video as, but as the show grew, and I was like, wow, I actually have a real show. Like I do the Seek and Destroy show, but sometimes those are outside, like I vlog and I go around California or here in Orlando. I haven't really done too much of that since I've been here because of COVID.
We're going.
Yeah, we're gonna do comic shopping. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. I didn't have a theme other than just crowd it with Venom stuff. But recently I found out I might have had to move from this apartment, so I actually boxed up all my Venom stuff first because I knew there was so much of it. So if you would have came last week, this would have all been Venom. Since all of it's boxed up now, I'm too lazy to unbox it. So I said, you know what, we're just gonna move forward, and we're just gonna have, since I do the Seek and Destroy show from this angle too, it makes sense to not just have Venom stuff in the background anymore. This is something I wanted because I knew that the lighting back there would shine through it, and I thought that would add at least a neat visual in the background where the toys were. I do struggle, like I said, they used to be littered with just Venom toys, way too many. So much so that you couldn't actually even see individual ones in my videos because you're like, they're so blurred together, there's so many. Spacing them out I think is better. I do like the color purple. I actually find it very calming. I'm also a big Prince fan, so I love it for that reason.
Purple Rain?
Purple Rain is the first movie I saw in the movie theater. Purple is definitely a color I love, and black, and Venom has been both of those colors before. He's been purple in video games and black in his normal state. So I thought it fit the theme. It fits me very well. I think in the end, backgrounds aren't important. I watch a lot of YouTubers where their background's literally their bed behind them, and they have 300,000 subscribers, but it's just like their bed and like maybe one poster. It doesn't matter. I think people come and they get invested in you. And like I said, even though I try hard to have people invest in the content I make, and not me, it's a losing battle. So I figured the background should be more about my personality and what I like, and less about what I care other people come here to see. And I think that's what helped me lead to this is a product of, this is what I've always saw in my head, which I can't really do, but it's always what I wanted as a background, and I'm glad I finally got to get it after 550 episodes of doing this show. I finally made it. So I would say if you're stressing about your background, don't let it build organically.
So final question, what would you like to tell the community?
Anything I'd like to say, I guess, to the community, I mean, well, like, hi, like I'm not a part of the tech community, so it's nice to meet all of you and just I hope you're doing well. I know this has been like a crap year for a lot of us, but I would say if you're out there and you just watch these things for entertainment, I hope you find that in these videos. I know John, like I find John very entertaining, and I really like watching him, and I just like him as a person. And I knew once I met him, like at work at Lego, I warmed up to him pretty quick. I'm pretty easy to talk to, but like it's a YouTube persona. I can talk to anybody, but I don't always like to actually talk to people. That's a secret about me. Like I actually like being quiet and reserved and detaching, because I have so many other things going on health-wise and stuff that I don't really like to put myself out there in person a lot. It's something I've been trying to change, and John's been helping me do that. I hope you do find entertainment in videos like this, but I also hope you enjoy things in the real world and, you know, and connect with people like I do with John. But I would say if you're out there trying to make your own stuff, you know, don't be afraid to learn stuff like I am. Like I'm very afraid to learn new things and new techniques, and so much so that I get standoffish when people want to give me feedback. I'm like, it's fine. What I'm doing is fine, as John will attest. But don't be like that. Don't be stubborn. Be willing and be. Bruce Lee said it best. Be water. You know, in life, that's how you should be. You should be like water. You should be fluid. You should be able to flow with anything, and you should be able to learn. Never stop being a student. And that's, I think, the two things. If you do those two things, hopefully a pretty well-adjusted person your whole life, and you'll be open to things that could improve you for the better. So yeah, I guess that's all I want to say is hello, and thanks for having me.
All right, guys. So this was a cool chat with my friend Zeke from VenomVlog. If you're interested in comics, Venom, anything Spider-Man, definitely check his channel out. Shameless plug, Zeke, where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube. You can look up VenomVlog, or just look up youtube.com/Seek Donnelly, SIIKE DONNELLY, and I'm at VenomVlog on Twitter and Instagram as well.
All those links will be down below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will definitely catch you guys in the next video. Check out Zeke's videos and make sure to find the one that I'm in. Yay!
He'll be there soon.
Right? Alright guys, have a good one, and till next time.
And Echo says goodbye too.
Goodbye!
Aww.